Hey everyone, welcome back to Lost Connection Tarot. My name is Benjamin Snavely, and you are watching a new series to me, which is called What Message Do I Need to Hear Right Now? But it's also not very new because this is episode 17, and this is something important has been taken from me. How do I move on? Okay, so this is for anybody that has had something taken from them and it bothers them. How do they move on from that? Well, we're going to do a 4-card tarot spread. We'll be using the Wild Unknown Tarot by Kim Kranz. We will look at the issue, like why you're asking the question, the challenge that presents itself now that the question has been asked, the opportunity within the issue, and then finally the most likely outcome. So, something important has been taken from me. How do I move on? What is the issue, the challenge, the opportunity, and the results? Okay. Issue, challenge, opportunity, result. Okay. So what we got here as the issue is the Mother of Wands. So something important has been taken from me. How do I move on? Okay, so I'm still slightly confused, and maybe we'll see what happens as we move on. But wands represent your passion. They represent the fire in our lives. They represent our soul being a part of us and having a desire to experience things, and you know it as intuition, you know it as a gut feeling, right? And the mother is also known as the queen, and so the queen is the opposite of the king, the yang to the yin. So with the mother, she is the emotion. She is water. Okay, so think of water and fire, and they're both tempering each other, and they're both controlled. So this is a woman who has her passions under control as well as her emotions. So she does not show overly in anything. She is composed, she is graceful, she is smart, she is witty, she is charismatic, adventurous. This is a woman that is a pleasure to be around. She radiates positivity. As you can see, she can also be fierce. She's a protector, she's a nurturer. She is mysterious. She is misunderstood at times. People mistake her actions for arrogance or lashing out in anger or foolhardiness, but in reality she knows what it is that she wants, because she is driven by her spirit self. She is driven by her passions, and she is ruled by them because they fill her up and they burn her with such intensity that she has learned to sit with that energy and love it and understand it and become one with it, and she cools off that intensity of fire with her love of herself and her emotions, and love for nature and the world around and people and animals and just anything, right, that is wonderful and beautiful, and it makes her think that she is in connection with something greater than, right? Everything goes back to source. So the issue, it could be that this person could be the thing that has been taken from you. It could have been your sister, your best friend. It could have been your mom. It could have been your wife. It could have been your daughter. It could have been anybody at all a best friend, but this person just lit up the room and was always the first to say yes, and was always there to protect and to assure and to keep the party going, and to just make sure everybody was okay and taken care of. I mean, yeah. Mother of Wands. So the issue is this energy. The issue, yeah, something important was taken from me. How do I move on? Yeah, I mean, that is such a positive card. That is a woman, or even a man, anybody of this energy, that this radiates this. It's not. It's a quiet intensity, right? It's never ever out of control. It's always moderated and balanced, and just perfect. It's like tea. It just has all the right components. Okay, so yeah, Mother of Wands. Okay, your challenge. Yeah. Okay. Is the Hermit. Now, this is a major arcana card. The difference between major and minor, you can hear it in the names. So major deals with literally stepping stones in our life, things we need to understand in the world, in our life, to move on. The other minor arcana cards kind of deal with our emotions, our physical world, our head, intellect, and then our spirit, our intuition, right? Oh, and our emotions. So our physical, mental, spiritual, and emotional selves. And it's more about daily life and things like that. But again, this is a major arcana card, and this is a challenge. And here it shows reverse. So who or what is the Hermit? The Hermit is, I'm glad I can answer that for you. The Hermit is basically Yoda. He is the person the hero goes searching for, not knowing that he's going to find this teacher, and then it doesn't even know what he's searching for, but he's going on a search of discovery, a search for truth, a search for understanding, purpose, will, why am I here, question of faith and humanity, and blah 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 blah. And the Hermit represents you also as Father Time, you also being this wise old sage, going into yourself and finding the truth of the matter. And you can only do that when you get away from the world and you go into your little cave, you go into your little area of solitude, and you sit with yourself. And when you sit with yourself, eventually, you'll have all of these things bubbling up from your emotions to, your mind. But eventually, if you sit long enough, everything will kind of go away, and you'll be left with your essence. You'll be left with your inner flame, who you truly are. And it's asking you to go within yourself to understand your source, to understand your brilliance, to understand your illumination, right? It's in reverse. So your challenge is to go forth and do this, or it's to come back and reconnect with society. So let's play with this. So the Hermit is reversed. It's out of whack. It's going to be either too much of something or it's too little of something. So at too much, you have been meditating too long. And what that means is kind of like what I did. I went and I traveled abroad for 7 years, and I never wanted to come back to the United States at all. And yet here I am, right? And I learned a lot on that journey. But it was the idea of me not agreeing with society and me purposely searching for whatever that truth was, because I knew I wasn't getting it from media, I wasn't getting it from Hollywood, I wasn't getting it from my parents, I wasn't getting it from religion, I wasn't getting it from news or Facebook or whatever. I wasn't getting it. So I had to leave to basically rediscover myself, to step out of my own comfort zone, and I needed time to meditate, and I needed time to search for answers, and that gave me an opportunity. And I'm not saying you have to travel, but I am saying that you need to pull away from everything that you have been doing, your daily life, your routine, and at the too much, right? So you have taken yourself out of society. You have went on a journey of realization, and if you have too much, if you've meditated too much, then you know your essence and you know your truth, and it is time to rejoin society and share it. Because it's a Buddhist saying, and I'm gonna butcher it, but it basically says, you don't put a candle under a light box, under a pail, because it's saying you're not supposed to hide. The purpose of a light is so it clears out darkness, so it illuminates everything around you. And if someone else happens to be in the periphery of where that light, where that source is, then they too are illuminated on whatever is around. So with you, being in reverse, it's showing that you're sitting with your truth, but it's sitting on the inside of yourself. It's going down inside of you, and you have pulled yourself away from society for so long that it is time to rejoin and to share your light with others. And the issue of this beautiful soul may be a challenge, a reason for you to do it. But your challenge is to come back into society. Now, that is if the energy is too much, right? If the energy is too little, it means you haven't meditated and or found your truth yet, because you're too busy doing earthly things that you have either forgotten to search for the truth, or you are satisfied with whatever your mind and or your emotions have conjured up and say this is the truth, that someone has spoon-fed you. Now you need to go inside yourself and find the actual truth, instead of a front belief. Like if you pick at your beliefs enough, you'll recognize that they're hollow and that they don't have much substance or weight. And it's time. If this is too little, it's time for you to go into yourself, and it's time for you to finally figure out what it means to hear your own truth and to hear your own voice and what it's trying to tell you. It's time to meet that person, that's part of you. So your challenge, whether you have too much of the hermit or you have too little of the hermit, is it's time to recognize the truth. Either it's time to come back into society, or it's time to withdraw from society for a period of time to re-find that lost connection of who you truly are, that essence. Now, your opportunity is something new and wonderful and beautiful coming into your life. It is a cup that the universe is going to hand to you, and at any time you are allowed to either take or to deny. But it looks like the opportunity is saying to take. You have this opportunity to take this. And this is something that is about commitment. This is something about devotion. This is something about being vulnerable and not just getting your cup and emotions fulfilled, but also being there for someone and fulfilling their cup. And that's the idea of love. Love is a decision. It's not just an emotion. And as this being your opportunity, you have to recognize that all aces are seeds. And just like any seed, you need to water that seed. You need to nurture it. You need to take care of it and tend to it. But you also need to make sure that you don't do too much. You need to let it be. You need to let it grow on its own. You need to make sure that after you give it water, you let it have sunshine and wind and good soil and all of these things. And all I'm saying is you don't baby it. You recognize that it has its own value and it has its own growth and it has its own wants and it has its own needs, and you're there to provide certain things, but other things it can do itself. So with the Ace of Cups, it's all about something beautiful is coming into your life, and you have the opportunity to seize it and take care of it and to walk with it and to grow something with it. And at all times, this is your choice. This is your opportunity, and it's up to you. Now, the most likely outcome through all of this is going to make you sit and think. It's going to give you a time of pause and reflection. So this is another major arcana card. And this is the Hanged Man. So the Hanged Man is a person that purposely puts himself in a state of suspension, puts himself in a stalemate, puts himself in a stasis where he doesn't move, and in fact he's immobilized, but he has immobilized himself, and then he has turned himself upside down to simply gain a new perspective. And he is fastened with one leg. In traditional decks like the Rider-Waite, he has one leg tied and his other leg shows kind of like a 4, and then he has a halo around his head showing that he has gained clarity of the situation by changing his perspective, and also that he has purposely put himself in this predicament because he is so stable and secure. That's what the 4 represents in himself, that he has this ability to withdraw and to see things from another perspective, to gain a wider sense of understanding of this entire situation and what has been going on. So your result after all of this happening is you're going to sit back and you're going to kind of step back from it for a second, and you're going to ponder everything that I just said to you, and you're going to reflect on this entire situation, and you are going to come to a new sense of understanding and clarity. And when you decide to come back into the world, you will have this new information to move forward with. And just to let you know, the 13th card after this one is death. It's the idea of rebirth and transformation, and becoming a new version of yourself, a better version of yourself, because you have new ideas and new emotions and new passions and a new way of thinking, and your old self no longer fit who you were, and so you had to mold, and you had to basically shed your skin to fit this new paradigm that you see yourself in. So you're at the precipice here, but first you need to step back and gain this clarity and gain this understanding. And the only way to do that is to take a step out of everything for a moment, and just see things from a different perspective. Okay? So this is your reading based on losing something important to you and what to do about that. All right. Now, my name is Benjamin Snavely, and this channel is Lost Connection Tarot. If you like what you heard, please hit like, please send a comment. I would love to hear anything and everything from you guys. If you want more content, hit subscribe, hit the bell. That way you know when new content's coming out. If you would like a personal reading with me over any questions, feel free to contact me. You can find my calendar, where you can book a reading with me. You can find that on my YouTube channel. You can find that on my Facebook page or on my Instagram page, which are all called Lost Connection Tarot. So, hope to see you again. Take care, everybody. Goodbye.